a delicious meal in the company of great Country Day friends. I'll start off by thanking our current officers, PA reps, buddy program reps, and committee members for their work throughout this school year. The PA's main priorities of parent support, teacher support, and community events were a great success due to your efforts. Parent support such as the Buddy Family Program, PA meetings with educational speakers, and working together as we build a community. Right, John? Yeah. Teacher support including teacher conference meals, Teacher Appreciation Week, and grade reps who work closely with Jen, Hirsch, and Stephanie for their divisional needs. And finally, the success of our... Good one, guys. I want to see if you're listening. Almost everyone except for Nikki's son, I hope, are listening. How's he enjoying those chicken nuggets? And finally, the success of our Country Day community events, which is Fall Fest, very clean event, Book Fair, cleaner, Winter Skate Party, and our grade level gatherings. I have no idea how clean they are or aren't, but hopefully you enjoy them. Your help with these initiatives truly make a difference. So I'd like to the PA reps whose 2-year terms have come to an end. I will Fawcett, Bonnie Nesbitt, Lauren Hudson, Susan Rust, Shondi Finley, and Ann Lazarus Barnes. Thank you so much. We also have a few Buddy Family Program reps I'd like to recognize and thank for their work on the program this year. Erica Beck, Candace Peters, Beth Chopra, Leslie Fullen, and Laura Harden. These Buddy Program reps worked very closely with Rick June, our Parents Association Vice President, and Aaron Kellenberger, Director of Admissions, who truly are the bricks and mortar of this successful program. Thank you so much to all of you. Next year's Buddy Family Program reps are, and Susan help me out, Erica Beck, Candace Peters, Bryn Fawcett, and Marilyn O'Brien. Am I missing anyone? Oh, all right. Excellent. So welcome and thank you for helping out. We look forward to working with you. Next year's Buddy Family Program will be headed up by our newly elected Vice President, Susan Rust. We look forward to working with her for success. And I'm going to pause right here because I had a conversation with Susan, who is just a dynamo and then some. I think we had a meeting, it was Aaron, Rick, and I, and Susan said, you know, when I wake up, it's like, boing! Wow, no coffee, nothing, no, just boing, I'm awake! So I'm really excited that Susan, with all of her energy, will be helping us. But Susan had a wonderful request. She said, Connie, do you think you can ask anyone that's been involved in the Buddy Family Program to please stand? So I'd like to do that. So if you could just put your forks down and wipe off your mouth a little bit, please stand. If you've helped to work out on Country Day's Buddy Family Program. Stand. I see you. Come on, Beth, stand up. Sean, you can stand. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And now the Parents Association has a special parting gift for our 3 outgoing officers. I apologize to the reps who are falling off that do not get a parting gift, but if you would like one, please become an officer and you too can have one. So I'd like to invite up Rick June, Vice President, Kim Smith, Recording Secretary, and Doreen Isett, who's the Corresponding Secretary. Please come up to be recognized. Let's see if I can get this right. We've got these 2 and this one. And if I don't, Rick, you're going to look really silly. So, thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's great to have a wonderful group of officers, and I'm really excited to announce, as they say, out with the old. I will look with a tear in my eye, and in with the news. So I'd like the following newly elected officers to please stand. Stacy Wooden, who's the event secretary, Susan Rust, vice president, and Adia Malloy, communications secretary. Rex and I look forward to working closely with you. So without further ado, Dr. McCrae and Stephanie, are you finished? We'd love for you to come up and do the parent recognition piece, please. Just checking out some names in terms of people who I think are here or not here. A special thanks to so many senior parents that I've worked with for quite a few years. Last year, as Corey Ashwell knows, I didn't get through this because I had a senior of my own, and with the blink of the eye, he's going to be home after freshman year of college. And I know that there are a lot of exciting things in store for all of you parents of seniors, graduating seniors, I might add. As we move forward, it's going to be a great couple of weeks. It's a wonderful class. We've made so many great friendships among parents and the student body, and so with a little bit of sadness to say goodbye, and some of you still have your younger students in our program, and we're excited about that. But please, parents of seniors, we'd love to see you next year too. Please come back, please visit. We ask that of the students too. The community is so important to us that we hope you will come back and get them in for Mrs. Mapes and catch up with us a little bit. I'd like to invite senior parents up here one at a time. Marcella Babb. Paul Burnish. Nia Burnett. Sylvia Kofer. Gada David. Audrey Fitzgerald. Bryn Fawcett. Lisa Gamblin. John and Lisa Hall.
Double fisted for you. Okay. For candy, I'll come up.
Teresa Harden. Rick June. Laura Carnes. And Lazarus Barnes. Ann Meyer. Lynn McAlevey. Jenny Portman. Nicole Willingham. Did we get all the senior parents? Excellent. One left for me. Thank you so much. It's great to see all of you here. A special thanks to Sharon Frederick, owner of WrappedHereSheIs.com, who graciously donated the delicious box of chocolates for our upper school 12th grade parents. Notice I didn't say seniors. If you're ever in the need of a unique gift of custom custom wrapped chocolates. I feel like a commercial. Please support Sharon, whose daughter is in the 11th grade. But truly they are. I have a quick aside because I think I have an extra minute here. When my daughter Margaret was born in '98, I first became acquainted, and it wasn't until she entered the 5th grade that I put the connection together between those darling bars that we got for her. Were actually from the Carson Group Corporation, which is now owned by Sharon and her husband. So truly, it's great. I was out at their website today, so you just wrappedheresheis.com, and they do have lots of goodies. So thank you very much to her for that. Before I introduce our speakers, I'll just kind of go over the flow again. So there will be boxes put on the tables for any leftovers, because Maggiano's is always so very gracious with their food, and feel free to take leftovers. So they're going to clear your plates, and then dessert, their finger foods will be placed on the tables, and then the servers, feel free to grab their attention if you'd like some coffee. The coffee is up here, so several things. Please feel free to come and get your own coffee if you've been forgotten. Otherwise, if you feel more comfortable, have the server. And then throughout, if you'd like a cup of coffee, it's kind of in a strange corner, but we're happy to have you feel comfortable. So without further ado, before I introduce our speakers, I want to propose a test for those here. The test is to listen to what our speakers have to say and to determine whether or not we as parents, faculty, and staff were successful in filling Country Day's mission. To refresh our memories, I'll read this mission statement. Ready? All right, I don't have readers, so I'm going to try this one. Cincinnati Country Day School provides each student with superior preparation for success in college and life. We inspire a passion for learning and independent thinking through a steadfast commitment to academic excellence, personal integrity, and service to others. So after hearing that refresher, let the testing begin. I'm extremely proud and honored to introduce today's speakers, 3 upper school senior students who have successfully learned to navigate the upper school environment. They will share their Country Day experience and give us insight into their perspective of receiving a Country Day education. Please help me welcome Trent Babb, Senior Class President, and Sam Hall, esteemed student in the National Merit Scholarship League.
Start off by saying good afternoon. Good afternoon. Can everybody hear me? Yes. Good. My name is Trent Babb, and I am the senior class president at Cincinnati Country Day School. I just want to take a few minutes to paint a picture of how this school and this learning establishment has changed my life. But first I have to tell you a little bit about my background. I was born and raised in Connecticut in the largest city called Bridgeport by 2 Caribbean parents. In the West Indies, education was almost as important as eating food on a daily basis. My parents grew up admiring their teachers and trying to strive to do better with what they had. It was when they moved to the United States with my sister before I was born that they saw the real change in the opportunities the U.S. had to offer. Between my parents and us, they paid for my sisters to go to school because they truly believed my sister deserved the best education possible like they did. Soon after, my parents had me. Going through the earlier stages of my life, I went to public school from kindergarten through the first half of 4th grade before transferring to a magnet school program, which was considered one of the better schools in Connecticut. As I began to settle in, I was hit with a very abrupt change when my dad told me one day in the living room, "We're moving to Ohio, son." Ohio? What possibly could be in Ohio that could benefit me? From the time I moved, I was excited but scared. A new environment, a nicer house, new people. and people being a lot friendlier in stores, which I wasn't used to since I lived in Connecticut. Nobody talked to us, but I remember that first day when I came into Walmart, somebody came in and said, "Hey, how are you guys doing?" And I was kind of scared. And then to add on to this experience, I was back in public school. Straight A's came easier than beating my old man in a race. And I did little work to achieve it. I needed the challenge, and boy did I get it. I took an entrance exam offered by the Queen City Foundation, a black organization trying to help young people of different nationalities to get into independent schools. After I took the test, I knew I was going to be in for a long ride. I thought from that point on, I understood what it meant to work. Boy, was I wrong there too. I seemed to be good at that part. I originally was going to go to CHCA, saying Country Day was way too far from where we live in the Fairfield Township, Westchester area, and the commute wouldn't be as bad to CHCA. But in my heart, CCD just lingered. And on my last day of school at Fairfield, my mom hit me with the shocking news that Country Day would be my new home for the 9th grade. I was filled with emotions at that time. How was I possibly going to fit in at Cincinnati Country Day? Why do I have to leave my friends in Fairfield? And I was so confused at the time, I even asked myself, what am I going to eat the next morning for breakfast? As I entered apprehensively into my new domain, I asked myself one simple question: how can I change CCD? Notice I didn't say how will CCD change me, but how will I change CCD? Believe me, my freshman year I came in with no intention on running for class president, but plans changed. I realized from a few days in that I could succeed in this school. I got involved with clubs and sports, and I thrived off of the pressure put onto me by my parents and myself. I wanted to say I succeeded at the best school in Cincinnati, and here I am today, standing in front of you, approximately 21 days away from putting on my cap and gown and making another speech to my parents about our journey together as a class in the union. It has been a fun ride for me. Country Day has taught me to be the confident man that stands before you today. Amen. I am so grateful for the opportunity that I had to go to Cincinnati Country Day School. And I couldn't say more confidently that these past 4 years has been a blessing. I am honored to say I have attended the great Cincinnati Country Day School, and thank you all for your support.
Well, I'm Sam Hall. I came to Country Day when I was 3 years old, back in the house, so I've got a bit of a different take on it than Trent. In high school, I've become the president of the Honor Council. I started a club back my freshman year called the Investment Club. I've become the VP of Model UN, the Jets team. I've played 4 years of golf and baseball, which has been amazing. And next year, I'm planning to attend, Princeton University, planning to study in aerospace engineering. So I started my career back here a long time ago. I can't really say I have much memory of the house. I was 1 foot tall or whatever. And I've had a lot of great experiences here. And I'm pretty sure I can say that nowhere else could I have had a high school experience quite this amazing. I have been able to do so much. And I would say that for me, the important things have boiled down into 4 things: the community, the faculty, the academic rigor, and the focus on academics at the school, and the extracurricular activities I've been able to partake in. The sense of community at Country Day has been unbelievable. I've got a huge family here. Since I was 3, I've been accumulating friends. I still have people. Sarah Gamlin, for example, I've been with her since I was in the house when I was 3 years old. I don't really remember meeting her, but I've known her for so long. And now it's gotten so much larger. I still have great connections with all my teachers when I was younger. I still see Mr. Van Nuys on a weekly basis, always getting to see him. Now my sense of community has expanded with parents of other students. So every day after baseball games, for example, I go to dinner with some of the fine women over here, and they're Suns, and that's been unbelievable. So, and hopefully we keep winning in baseball. We can keep doing that. You know, I would say for me though, the most important thing has been the amazing faculty at the school. You know, since I was 3, I've had amazing teachers. I believe my first teacher was Mrs. Mangan back when I was 3 in the house. And from an early age, Country Day teachers here, they teach you a curriculum that is conducive to creating great students in the future. They teach you independent learning and thinking. And ever since, you know, I was in 2nd grade, I think I was being able to, given the opportunity to learn on my own, learn some of the advanced math, and that's come into handy hugely throughout high school, and they've been continuing to do it, and that's going to help me a lot more when I actually get to college. And I've made unbelievable relationships with teachers, as I said, Mr. Van Nuys, and Mrs. Mentor, and Mrs. Peachy from 5th grade, and my middle school teachers I still get to see on a regular basis when I walk down, and maybe go say hi to Mr. Gilmore from 8th grade, and that is something that Country Day gives that no other school can really give. When you change from lower school to elementary school to middle school to high school, and you never see those teachers again, nor are necessarily teachers with class sizes of 30 going to be that interested in you yourself. In high school, the teachers have been maybe even more incredible, and I've formed relationships with them that go beyond just student-faculty. I can text Mr. Carr, for example, and meet him at the golf course and play 9 holes with him anytime I want to. And I have a relationship with my teachers that extend far more than just the classroom. And I think that's something that I've really relished and I'm going to miss more than anything. The academic rigor of the school has also been huge for me. It's a very academically oriented place, and speaking from our grade has a good reputation for being a bit competitive, to say the least. Yeah. And I think what's amazing about Country Day is being smart is cool here. I think that's one of the most important aspects of our school is that when it's one of the best parts about our school is that academic successes are awarded as much as sports successes are at other schools, and I think that's just really pushing students to try their best and do as much as they possibly can in the realm of school. And so again, as I said, opportunities to learn for myself, the critical thinking skills you learn back when you're in lower school has helped so much as I've grown up. And finally, the extracurricular activities, specifically in high school, have been unbelievable. So I've been able to play 2 sports, varsity golf and varsity baseball, with unbelievable coaches, Mr. Fallhaber and Mr. Dunn. Been awarded great opportunities like to go up to the state championship and have that experience of playing golf in the state championship and having all this experience with Mr. Dunn at baseball. To carry on from middle school, I don't know if any of you guys remember or have kids in middle school with the stock market game. That was something big in the 8th grade. And we felt like that was something that was so cool that we wanted to do that in high school. And so with the help of Mrs. Lewis, we got that set up in the high school. And Mrs. Lewis has been there with us all along the way. And last year, for example, as some of the kids are in New York right as we speak, me and 3 of my best friends, we got to go to New York with the help of Mrs. Lewis, helping us win this project, something that we did back in middle school. Model UN has also been an amazing club, and Mr. Fawcett has been, and his wife is here today, as both a friend of a parent of a friend and a teacher, he's been unbelievable. And finally, my experience in Honor Council has been huge at school, and that's one of the amazing things about Country Day is that the school has something that's very sophisticated, I guess you could say. Something that colleges have as the Honor Council, but at Country Day, we value that, and I think that goes beyond anything that can be said about the school, is how we're driven to be on our own honor. It's not just about tests, it's like we want to learn for ourselves. So today is my last day of high school, and I am unbelievably saddened by that. I mean, I broke down Mr. Carr, if I'm totally honest, about 2 hours ago. I'm sure that I'm more than ready to go to Princeton. It's going to be hard though to leave, but I know that Country Day will always be a part of me. And for that, I cannot say how much Country Day has changed my life, because it's been my life for the past 15 years. So, thank you very much.
As I said, I am so honored to stand up here with these 2 fine young gentlemen, and I know that you're going to do great at school, and I know that when you graduate, we're going to be seeing you again, and you'll be a great impact to our society, to our economy, and to just the overall good of the community. So, boy, kudos to Country Day. Did we succeed in our mission? Yeah. And so we have 2 parting gifts. Hopefully you can use these in your college dorms. You're welcome. But boy, I still get the chills. Just fantastic, guys. Does anybody have any questions? Maybe some of the middle school, lower school parents for these guys? They said they'd be more than happy to answer them. I have one. I'm just going to ask you that. My daughter is in the 9th grade, and she's just starting her endeavors, and she gets, I'm not going to go into her personal part. I love my daughter, but she's a little high stress sometimes, which is a good thing. And I have a 7th grade son, so I obviously am looking up to the high school to see how are they going to manage it all. You know, Margaret is just finishing her 9th grade year, and I'm looking at, you know, like you said, sports, school involvement, social. How do you guys manage being such high performers?
Well, I think one of the very important things about Country Day is to do all of those things, as Mrs. Hudson just said, is to be able to balance, you know, your social life, your extracurriculars, your sports, and your school. And that's what's unique. You don't just pick one of those and become, you know, the stereotype jock or nerd or whatever it may be. And I think it's important to do that. And if you know, balancing your time is crucial. I've had late nights, but I mean, for the most part, it's just you must understand that, you know, if you're ever in trouble, you can always go see a teacher. If you can't get something in, you know, teachers are always there to help you. It's not a big deal if you can't handle it. It's just time management is important, and that's something that you need to, that Country does help you learn. But there's always something to fall back on if something were to go awry.
I think personally, I remember my 9th grade year when I first came to school. I remember I had my first project due, and I was procrastinating because, of course, at Fairfield, like I said, it was really easy for me. So I was like, okay, I'll just get this done the night before. And I remember that first night sitting up to 2 o'clock in the morning, and I almost cried. And I said to myself that I would never do that again. And then it turned out during the year, I was in basketball and I ran track. And in track, I was a big help to the team, especially from the get-go in my freshman year. And I was like, okay, maybe it's time for me to work ahead a little bit. And instead of procrastinating, waiting until the last minute to do my projects, just start the week before, 2 weeks before, when it just work increments per day, and then I'll finally get that project done, and I'll be satisfied with what I have instead of just waiting until the last minute.
Great, thank you. Anybody else have any questions? Speak now. Oh, yes.
I have a question. Our son is actually a little one. He's in kindergarten. And so I'm interested in just your perspective of, you know, when you were in the lower school, how has some of the experiences you've had in lower school, how has that helped you be successful, you know, as you kind of made your journey up until where you are today?
Yeah, as I've said, Country Day teaches in a different way, I imagine, from most schools, and it's the critical thinking that they provide. So the opportunities to learn on your own has been a key part of the curriculum since kindergarten. I remember doing, you know, bird projects in kindergarten, making a little paper mache bird. That was my responsibility to do that. I had to learn it. You know, you're not learning from a textbook to take your achievement tests, and that's not part of that's not what Country Day is, and that's very important. And the experiences just getting to know the teachers as well. You know, I was able to make, you know, relationships with teachers, you know, like Mrs. French when I was 12, and I still can go by and say hi to her, and you know, she still remembers me, she still knows my name, of course, and so it's those foundations that you make with faculty then and learn how to make those that help you in high school, so that I have these amazing relationships, these amazing teachers, you know, now that I'm 18. You know, so that's been huge.
Anybody else? Great. We've had one from upper school, one from lower school. Anybody from the middle school?
Oh yes, go ahead. But I just have a question for Trent. We know where Sam is going and what he's going to study. What are you going to study and where are you going to college, and what do you think influenced you to follow that next path?
Okay, well, in the fall I'll be going to Denison University, and right now I was thinking about taking political science, majoring in political science and minoring in sociology, to eventually go on to law school and become a patent lawyer. But right now I'm kind of second guessing that after talking to somebody about it. I'm not second guessing my career plan, but I was thinking about going into a triple major, which is political science, philosophy, and economics at Denison because I heard that it's a very good way to mentally prepare me for law school and things like that. And it's going to be tough because I'm running track in college also, and I know that's going to take a lot of time too. But like I said, Country Day really prepared me to balance that aspect of my life.
Well, one more back. I'm interested to know what you guys wanted to do, or what you saw yourself doing when you were in lower school, or when you were 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, and the different, just how things have changed over the years to where you are now.
Might not be a good answer to that, because I looked at my 5th grade yearbook, and apparently I wrote down aircraft engineer for what I wanted to be back then. I was actually surprised by that. I was like, interesting, but that's still what it is. So somehow that hasn't changed. And I honestly can't remember when I got interested in aviation and aerospace, but apparently it was something a long time ago. And then, science curriculums have always pushed me toward taking science classes, and that's always what I'm good at. So, now it's what I'm going to plan to study in college.
Sam's a pilot too.
Okay, well, Jack, I remember when I was younger, my mom always used to push me to become a doctor. And I remember that, and from the time I entered high school, I noticed that I was really bad at science. It's funny to be a doctor, I may cut off the wrong thing. So then I realized that, throughout the time with my parents, I like arguing with them a lot. So that was definitely a time where I believed, like, okay, maybe I want to become a defense attorney. And I saw that too, and I was like, maybe not. I really like writing. So then I was like, patents, lawyer, it all comes together. And then I was like, yeah, that's why I want to be a patent lawyer. So, yeah.
Well, thank you again. I appreciate you guys. And that concludes our lunch. So enjoy the rest of your conversations and really appreciate the successful year. Thank you.